round starts with everybody outside of the compound. We do need to get somebody back to take care of some of these raiders that are on the fence line. First we have to choose between Frida and Melly. I think I'll have Melly do a search action and have her go first so we can see what kind of additional supplies we'll have available here at the satellite station. She searches, so the threat is now +1. And that's what we need. We need fuel and we need food. So that was a very good draw for us. That'll add 2 fuel and 1 food to the supply. And do I want to move her back to the compound? No. I'll leave her there. And I'll have her pick up one of these fuel. We got to start gathering supplies. Do I want Dante to go first or Hank? I'll have Dante go. I'm going to have him pick up this fuel, and for his second action have him pick up the ammo. And I'll have him for his free action, not his free action but his free ability, I'll have him send this fuel back to the truck. And now I decide what I want Frida to do while she's there. I'll have her grab this ammo for her first action, move back to the compound, and use her free transfer to the truck to unload all of her supplies into the truck, which is another fuel, another food, and our third ammo. And that leaves us with Hank. Hank is going to move back to the compound for 1 action, which will add a marauder. Remove 1 ammo from the truck for a free transfer, and for his second action, shoot, so that there are 3 less marauders on the fence line. That ends all of our actions. Now we'll move into our threat phase, which is dangerous because Dante could take 2 wounds and die, and then Melly could take 2 wounds and die, but these are the chances we're going to have to take if we're going to try and get enough supplies to get out of here and move out to salvation. Here in the threat phase, each location has a +1. +1 at Historic Maldito, +1 at the satellite station, so each of our characters are going to have to roll 2 dice. Dante cannot take 2 wounds, so, well, we'll take that. It fell out of my hand, but I'm counting it. So he'll take 1 wound. And Melly, she can only take 1 wound at most, and she takes 2. So we're going to have our first character die. Dante will take another wound. Melly will take 2 wounds and drop that fuel at the satellite station and eliminate her from the game. Now Frida is the only character left with this player, so we can't lose her. If she dies, then the game's over for everybody. We can still keep playing as long as that player has one of their characters remaining. Melly has been killed. That takes care of our threat phase. Now our apocalypse phase will add death. Sandstorm, 2-player game, 1 Marauder. That'll make managing it a little bit easier. Each character is delayed. Just be patient. We aren't going anywhere for a while. Characters at the compound ignore these effects. Well, luckily this time the majority of my characters are at the compound, but Dante will be delayed. Refresh. This is no longer blocked. This round didn't go too well. We lost a character. Melly died trying to gather supplies at the satellite station. Dante, 1 wound away from death, is delayed in Historic Maldito. He's probably held up in a building. Marauders are probably outside searching for somebody, so he's got to lay low for a little while. Our truck is getting better equipped with supplies. We have 5 fuel, 2 ammo, and 2 food. I need more fuel and more ammo for sure. 2 food may be enough to get by. We don't have any ammo out, which is really, really bad. We won't have to use any ammo in the next round because I can just fight one of these marauders to get him off of the fence line, and that way we're not in danger of drawing a card and ending the game. We got some fuel out there we can go collect, and another couple cans of food. Dante is holding on to an ammo. I'll have to get that back to the compound. It's going to be a lot tougher now. We don't have that 4th player to help us out, but we'll see if we're able to. The Apocalypse deck is getting low. We're getting close to the point where we're going to have to start the journey. We got some work to do in our next round. Our new round starts, and we have Dante and Hank. Dante is in trouble. I'm going to have to use one of his actions just to stand him back up, which leaves him only with 1 action. I should probably get him back to the compound. I'll stand Hank up, use his ability to transfer this ammo to the truck, which gives us 3 there now. And for his last action, I have to move him back to the compound. I don't want to have him die. Frida is at the compound. She's got 3 open spots. I will have her... Where am I going to move her to? We need fuel and we need ammo. The threat's really high here. What I'll do is I'll move her 1 for 1 action, pick up the fuel, and for the ability here, after performing an action, I can resolve a free move to take her right back to the compound and use her free transfer to put that fuel into the truck, giving us a total of 6 fuel now, which is still probably not enough unless we got really lucky and drew a bunch of low cards. But if the fuel's low, then the ammo and food are high, and that resolves her action phase. Now Hank is at the compound. I need to have him remove this marauder by fighting, and now he'll have to roll 2 of the black dice. Hank needs to get lucky here. Hopefully we don't get more than 2 wounds, or that'll be the end of Hank. Oof, we got 2, right on the edge. Hank was able to fight that buggy full of marauders off, but he took 2 wounds in the process, putting him near death. He still has 1 action left, and I will have him use it to rest, since he's in the compound, to take one of those wounds off. Again, it's not the most exciting, but we're starting to get supplies in the truck ready to go. We don't have anybody out of the compound, so there is no threat phase that's going to take place, which means we're going to go right into our apocalypse phase. And it's pestilence, festering wounds. We're going to add 1 marauder to the fence line, so that one that Hank drove away comes buzzing right back. Each character reveals 2 wounds, then resolves the newly revealed wounds. It must have been shock. She didn't even realize she'd been shot. Characters may discard a med to let up to 3 characters at their location ignore these effects. Nobody is holding a med, so each player is going to have to reveal 2 wounds, if they have 2 wounds to reveal, and resolve the new ones. Now this could definitely be the end for Dante. If we reveal a critical wound and he has to add 1 more, that's it. Good thing I removed that 1 from Hank. Well, let's see what Hank has first. Hank is going to be delayed. Now Dante, I'll take this one here in the middle. And it is an injury, so he's still alive. And now I have 2 to choose from. I'll take the one on the right. Oh, luckily it also is just an injury, and Dante is still in the game. Everyone is still alive, but Hank has become delayed. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it through this road trip. We only have a couple of apocalypse cards left. Refresh phase will clear up the ability of Maldito Motors. Not sure what my course of action is going to be in the next round. We have 1 Marauder we definitely have to deal with, because we haven't seen a card for a while that causes multiple Marauders to be added beyond 1 or 2. So we might be due for 1, which would end the game. And I still have supplies to collect, and I have to do so quickly, because this deck is running out and we're going to have to start our journey. And so far we have 2 food, 6 fuel, and 3 ammo. We'll see if we're able to do it in the next round. We'll move this down to Frida. She's the only one left there, so she's going to go first. And I need fuel. She has 3 open spots. I will move her to the satellite station and pick up a fuel for both of her actions. I have to take some risks here now at the end. I'm going to have Dante move to the satellite station also. I'm going to have him pick up a fuel and use his ability to send this resource back to the truck. And that's going to leave him exposed outside the compound with only 1 spot open. But Frida has a couple of spots, and we're going to have to roll 3 threat dice And hopefully I don't roll 3 wounds, and I'll be able to spread any of the wounds out and just, well, not spread them out, but send them all to Frida as long as there's not 3. Otherwise I have to give Dante one and kill him off. Now for Hank, his first action is standing up. And I have to take a risk with Hank also to get this Marauder off the fence line. So he's going to fight and now roll and hopefully not get 2 wounds. Going to need a bit of luck here. Hank only has 2 open spots. We need to get one of these blank sides on one of these dice and either the other blank or only a single wound. So Hank is fighting for his life, defending the compound. Oh no! Hank, that's terrible. He rolled 4 wounds. Hank just dove right into him, saving everybody else. Hank was not able to save himself. Hank is going to take 2 wounds and be eliminated from the game. Hank sacrificed himself, protecting the supplies at the compound. We're still in the game right now because we have 1 character for each player. Both are the heroes, which means now we do our threat phase, and this could end the game right here if I have another horrible roll like I just had. 2 characters at the satellite station with a threat of 1. I need to roll 3 white dice. This could be the end of our game right here. If I roll 3 wounds, the game is over because that means one of the characters has to die. So I don't want any more than 2 so I can keep playing in the next round. Oh, whew. Have to cut it as close as possible, don't I? I'm going to give both wounds to Frida, putting her 1 away along with Dante, only 1 wound away from dying. And the horror is not over yet because we are outside the compound and it is time to draw the card for the apocalypse phase. And it is famine. It's a cholera outbreak. We're going to add 1 Marauder to the compound, and each character takes 2 wounds. The water supply must have been contaminated. Eating is the only way to replenish what we lost. Characters may discard a food to let up to 3 characters at their location ignore these effects. Nobody is holding a food. Both of them are going to take wounds and die. And that will end this game of Salvation Road. But just to give you an idea of how the game progresses, I have lost. But let's say we made it back to our compound in time and decide to take a journey. I'll show you how these cards work just to give you the full playthrough. Now if she made it back, her fuel would also have been part of our supply. And we would get into the truck and go on the road to our first road card, which is ammo and fuel. We turn it over and it is a rock slide. Blow up the ammo to clear a path. So it's going to take 4 ammo and 1 fuel. And already, as you can see, the game would be lost because we only have 3 ammo. So right there, that would have ended because we didn't have anything available. Our next card would have been Nomad Patrols. And we would have needed 4 food and 1 fuel And again, we didn't have enough food. Plenty of fuel this time. And then finally, we have the bandit base. Smash the gate, shoot any in our way. 2 ammo, 3 fuel, and for once I had plenty of fuel. I only needed a total of 5, and I would have had 8 in the truck, and I needed 6 ammo, which I only had half of, and 4 food, which I only needed half of. Now, if I would have made it past each of those and made it to salvation, there's still one last thing you have to pay, and that's the toll. Now, if we manage to make it past all 3 of our road cards, and you can see here in a 2-player game, the toll is times 1, so what it is on the card. So you would take the next card from the search deck, and you have to either choose the left or the right. So I'd have to either give 2 health packs to enter salvation or 1 ammo. And again, I didn't have any health packs on the truck, and I didn't have enough ammo to even make it here. So you can see how the game would have to be played in order to have enough supplies to make it. And if this was a 3-player game or a 4-player game, then that gets multiplied. In a 3-player game, those numbers get multiplied by 3, so I would need 6 health packs or 3 ammo, and then the same in the 4-player game, multiply those by 5. Thank you for joining me for my playthrough of Salvation Road, even though it was a really epic failure on my part to not even make it to the road phase. I've made it to the road phase on one of my playthroughs and have made it to the second card and was not able to make it past that. I haven't even come close to making it to salvation to pay the final toll. I haven't had a lot of playthroughs of the game. I played it 3 times just to get the hang of the flow and the rules. And it's obviously, I have not figured out a good strategy on how to do this yet, how to manage health and gather all these supplies at the same time. Probably not taking advantage of the location abilities as much as I should. And this time I definitely concentrated on fuel, because all my other playthroughs, these fuel were always 3 and 4, 3 and 4 every time I flipped them over. And this is the time I should have concentrated on my other items, but I didn't want to take 2 wounds here at the satellite station just to flip these cards over. I got to figure out what a good strategy is to give myself a better chance at the game. If you have any suggestions or you've done so in your own playthrough, please leave it in the comments. Give me an idea how I can better play the game. But all in all, it's a good time. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to you joining me for my next playthrough video. Thank you for joining me.